Good morning. So I'm here to make a video for you guys talking about our experience with our hotel and our experience with food, kind of the questions that I had, as well as some of the questions that you guys posted on the page. So here they are. I have 12 different questions that I kind of came up with through your guys' questions and things that I've been asked. So here it goes. I'd like to state that this is our experience with, we're staying at a loft in Bay 2 District. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This is what we've experienced going through the quarantine process. It's not necessarily the same for everyone, and everything's continually changing because COVID keeps changing. So I hope this video was able to answer most of your questions. Question number 1, how did you pick the quarantine hotel? So what I know is that we were told that each adult has to have a separate bedroom and bathroom in a separate space if one of you were to get sick. So we originally were told it has to be individual rooms. However, my husband is deaf, so he can speak for himself and he can lip read, but he's not able to hear the phone. So the communicating on the phone here is like essential. You have to do it. That is really the main point of communication, is the hotel phone. So I had asked if we can get accommodations made for him, and they said they could do a connecting room where I make all the phone calls and then take care of him. Sure, okay. So I had actually, there was a list. What is it? Almost middle of July. Beginning of June, there was a list that went out on one of Taiwan's websites about all of the hotels that had quarantine, and I started making a list of which ones and their costs and all of this information. Aloft was actually the only one who got back to me with their accommodation, what they would do for accommodating for my husband. And then I do know a few other families who've also requested connecting rooms, and their request has been granted. So that has been honestly a huge lifesaver, just being able to interact with him and do things together, such as just watch TV. So that is how we ended up at Aloft. You are not, for Aloft, you are not allowed to use any points or redemption coupons for any of it. From my understanding, all quarantine hotels have special pricing right now, so you're not able to use benefits with any hotel. They come with food. So the cost is for your room and your food per day. I did not find a hotel that you could just pay for the hotel. All of it came with your hotel and food together. And there's not an option. We can choose if we want to order food. If we don't order food, then we don't order food. We've already prepaid for all of it.
It's about $20 per meal a day. So
we were looking at some other hotels, and the price varies, right? I wanted to feel comfortable. If we're gonna be stuck inside, I wanted to feel most comfortable. And this is a decent sized room. We have a bunch of space because we have 2 sides, so that's really nice. I believe you could do an Airbnb. Again, I think each adult needs to have a separate bathroom and a separate bedroom. We did not look into that. And you can order Uber Eats, which I will talk about in a little bit. So that is how we landed on our quarantine hotel. You do have to pay for it all up front. So as soon as we checked in, they charged us for the whole entire time. It is 15 nights, 16 days, because it has to be 14 24-hour days. So we started on day 0. For us, tomorrow will be day 14. We go to bed and we wake up free. So that was another question. Midnight, we can leave. I'm not going to leave at midnight because our new hotel isn't ready till 3 o'clock the next day. So we are going to probably wake up and go out for breakfast. And then we're gonna walk around our hotel because this is what we've been staring at, right? We just keep staring at the same thing. I wanna see what it looks like for real. And then I'm gonna go do some laundry of all of the clothes that we've used, and we will head to our new hotel about 11:30, just because, again, check-in's not till 3. The answer is yes. So we found, oh no, my cord dropped. Quarantine hotels are for quarantine only. You cannot stay here if you're not quarantining. So at least that's for our hotel. You can also not quarantine in a non-quarantine hotel. We got off the airplane and you stand in a line, and there's QR codes, and use your Google Translate. There was QR codes before you boarded the plane. You do need to have your COVID test results in hand. They do look at that multiple times while you're waiting in line. There are people who will help you figure out what you need to do. Somebody who speaks a little bit of English will approach you if somebody doesn't know English and kind of lead you to the right direction. But you do need to have your passports and your visa. They will look at both of those, which your visa is inside your passport, and your COVID-19 negative test result. Nowhere did they hold on to it. So we actually printed 3 copies because I'm like, are they going to need to hold on to it? They did not. They just needed to check it. So there's that. We then went through a few more checkpoints, and they checked, this is what you have to do for quarantine. You leave you're free from quarantine on the 18th. Do you understand? Yes. And then you walk into this other area that has like some money, transaction for money. And we arrived super early, so nothing right there was very full. And then there's gonna be 2 lines, one for citizens and one for non-citizens. And so we got into the non-citizen line. They had to double check everything. There were multiple people who came over to look at our COVID test results, and we were allowed through. At that point, you need to grab your bags. We also needed to get our SIM cards and money, but that didn't come till after we got our bags. So we got a push cart, and we put our bags on the push cart, and we exited the baggage claim, which at that point, like in a normal airport, there's no return. You don't get to turn around and go back, which you don't need to. So pretty much out by the taxis, the very last thing, you can find your ATM to get cash. You can find we're trying to get a new SIM card, an international SIM card, and what I could tell you is we have AT&T. I looked at in iPhones. I looked at international plans. I was like, perfect, we'll just do an international plan. And then I was like, wait, we could put a SIM card in. We went to the SIM card station, which is by the taxi location. So after everything, you have your bags with you. We go to the SIM card location, and she puts the SIM card in, and my phone's not unlocked. We're not tech savvy people. I don't know what that means. It didn't work. So we just had to do like a day pass until the government called us at our hotel to figure out what to do about the phones. Booth where you can pay for a taxi up front. So I actually handed him cash. I got a little receipt, and then we waited, and the taxi driver came, saw our receipt, took it, brought our bags, and put us into the car. As soon as you arrive at Aloft, they will drive you into the basement where it's like the loading dock, and you enter into the service area. So there's a man who is like dressed in full protective gear, and you have to write your name and your phone number on this piece of paper, and he makes sure that you understand what day you're leaving. As soon as we checked in at the taxi location, that woman actually called our hotel to tell them we were on our way. So they had some time to get ready for us to come. He helped us with our luggage into the elevator, which everything was in plastic wrap. Like they had plastic attached to the ceiling, drop down, so there's really only this tiny little area you can go. We got into the elevator, he pushed level 6, and he asked us what we'd like for breakfast, because it was still like 7 o'clock in the morning. Like 2 hours later, they called us and asked us if everything was okay, double checked to make sure we knew what day we could leave, make sure we know the rules, you're not allowed to leave. Kind of all that jazz, in that we need to be waiting for the government to call us. We did not know if that meant on the phone or on our phone, so we waited. We actually waited about 30 hours from the time we got here, and they actually called us on the hotel phone. So that was the first contact with the government, was on the hotel phone. They first contacted us through the hotel phone, and they made sure, like, I had to explain to them again that Brian is deaf. I will be talking. They could not track you with an American number. So our phone plan was shot at that point. So they did deliver us a phone 3 days later. And here's what it looks like. It is some sort of Galaxy phone. Don't send a message. And they will call you on this phone or text you. They've only called us like 2 or 3 times, I think, on this phone. And mainly it's for making sure that we understand that when we are done with these, like when we're done with quarantine, we leave these at the front desk. Some hotels provide you with cleaning supplies. Every hotel is a little bit different. This hotel, in each room, came with a box of water, clear water bottles. They came with trash bags, and huge trash bags. They came with like your little tea set, where it has tea and coffee, instant coffee, and your sugars and your stir sticks, stuff like that. It came with soap and lotion, two toothbrushes in each room, toothpaste, a few Q-tips, some shower caps. You have a fridge, some hot water pot on both sides, and you have a ice collector, which you don't use because we're not going anywhere. You do have a hair dryer. Okay, here is the closet. What did they have? They have hangers, a flashlight, which we've never used, an ironing board, and a drawer that, again, we've never used, and then a safe. The closet on the other side is the same. We actually keep food up here, just because there's not enough at the cubby. All of his clothes, again, an iron, a flashlight, an ironing board, which we've never used, more suitcase, clothes, and then still a drawer with a safe. This is my husband's work area. So he has his computer, he brought his own mouse. He has all of these cords, HDMI cord, which hooks up to the TV if he needs, the Ethernet cord, and 2 plugs. Xbox controller with all of the cords to connect his controller to the computer. And then there's 2 office drawers. These are actually the trays that come with the coffee. They work really well for a like placemat, since it's hard and we can eat on the bed with them. All of the coffee and tea. We brought paper plates, which I feel like we should have brought a few more. We brought napkins. These are some all of our leftover chopsticks, which, if you've seen some of my videos, I am not proficient. However, I'm pretty sure our son will be, so we've been saving them to take them home for our son. And we've saved all of our baggies just because we'll probably use them again. Here's all of we got Cliff bars, granola bars in the other one, coffee for my husband. They do come, let's see, with instant coffee. You just make the hot water, and my husband likes it. He says it's not bad. He is a strong, dark, black coffee kind of guy. Comes with a mini fridge, which is not very deep. It's only about hand deep. We have all of our water in here. They give you water bottles and his coffee. That is about all that fits in here. We did take one of the shelves out to make sure that the water bottles could fit all the way to the top. We brought 2 paper towel rolls. They do not provide you with any napkins. If you trash bags, normally ours have been green, now they are pink, which same thing. Here is our trash situation. We have about 1 bag of trash every day just because nothing can be saved. Here's our recycled. The pizza boxes make so much room. So we have like all of these pizza boxes because they rip holes in these bags. So this bag is like, I think maybe for linens, I'm not sure. This is all our recycling. Here is my side. We brought paper towels. So the one thing that we really appreciated was paper towels, silverware. We brought plastic so we could just throw it away. Grocery bags, trash bags, kind of up to you. We did bring bag clips, which we have used. So we brought paper towels, which this is our second roll of paper towels because we use, they give you tissue and they give you extra. Yeah, I think that's it for food wise. A knife. So this is just, a super small knife, but we've used this often. And scissors are super important. Did not provide very good notepad. So usually when we go to hotels, I like to steal their notepads. This is what you get with a pencil. I'm sorry, I don't like to write with pencil unless I'm at work. I wish I brought notepad, just a notebook of random paper, because this is whatever. We have 3 to 4 containers of Lysol wipes. We use them on the airplane. We use them in the airport. We use them to wash our hands if we couldn't in a quick, pinch. Another trick to that is bringing dog poop bags. I know it sounds crazy, but when you are in a hotel or in the airport, you can wipe everything down, and then it's a little trash bag, and then you can either throw it away or tie it up. And if you don't have trash yet, it was just easier for us. That's like a little travel trick that we've used. So we brought wipes on the airplane. We also brought gloves. So we brought hand sanitizer, and other health things. We brought Emergency, which is like the little packet, and then you make your drink for vitamins and stuff. And all of our normal vitamins and all medicine that we had in our cabinet. I was like, I am not testing the waters. A week before we left, I jacked up our regimen on vitamins. We doubled everything. So we had morning and night we were drinking Emergency. Morning and night we were taking vitamins. We were trying to stay super hydrated. I was gonna buy Pedialyte just to make sure we had electrolytes, because I know you don't want to drink a lot when you're traveling, because then you have to use the bathroom. So what we did is I actually am with a company called Advocare, and they have something called Rehydrate, very similar. So that's what I bought. I bought some Rehydrate. And when we took our first flight, we landed, I had both of us drink one of those so we could stay hydrated. And while we were waiting for the 7-hour layover, we drank another Emergency. The bathroom is right there. We brought our Lysol wipes into the bathroom so we could wipe things down before, we sat down or touched anything. And then washed our hands and went back to our seat. And on the airplane, we brought Lysol wipes into the bathroom to clean everything just in case. So Lysol wipes is a huge plus. And now we're here, and we use Lysol wipes to wipe up any messes, or there's tile floor by the front door and bathroom area, and it's honestly kind of gotten gross to walk on, so I've actually washed the bathroom or the tile floor with the Lysol wipes. So Lysol wipes for the win. We brought Cliff Bars. I bought peanut butter, a few other snacks from like Costco that we enjoy, and every day, again, we're taking all of our vitamins. We're drinking 1 million bottles of water because if I know me, when I'm stressed out, I get sick. So the best way to combat that, I am peeing all the time. Like, I feel like I'm peeing every hour. And for a teacher, that feels really strange because, you know, you have to hold your bladder, but, you know, you have all the time in the world. Well, Febreze spray. There's no air anywhere. Just same air. I don't think there's anything else we wish we would have brought at this point. Is because of COVID, everybody was spring cleaning, right? You have nothing else to do, cleaning out your closet. We actually went into that pile of clothes and pulled out most things. So we kind of wear the same clothes every day because it doesn't get dirty, and when it is dirty, we wash it. And so that's another thing we brought is laundry detergent, dish soap, and a clothesline with a command strip with extra stickies, and we've just stuck it on the tile. We brought our old clothes, so most of the clothes that we're wearing, other than like a few special things that are comforts to us, will be going into the trash. This is a perfect time to get new underwear. Let's just say that, because then you don't have to wash your dirty underwear. Yeah, so most of the clothes that we are wearing right now are not going to be coming home with us, and that was just something that we had decided when we left. So extra space on the way home. We brought things to do. My husband is working, and he literally works from about 6 o'clock in the morning till I would say 3 o'clock in the afternoon-ish. I mean, obviously depending on the internet. He brought all of the cords to hook up to the TV, the HDMI cords. I have an HDMI cord. I also have a connector because I have a Mac to watch movies from my computer onto the TV. I have Sudoku. I have my journal. I have books, which honestly I have not been reading, which I'm super surprised about that. I do spend most of my time playing Sudoku, staring out my window, and watching people. I was kind of surprised. I've only spent about 2 days where I watched a lot of TV. Other than that, Brian and I will watch TV right before dinner until we go to bed. He usually is done with work, and then he plays video games for a few hours because his computer can do that. Well, that is kind of what we're doing to stay sane. I am making the videos. So if I didn't have the videos, I go crazy. I also do my workout every day, except for one day. I did not because I didn't feel like it. You know, like, why? I was like, what's the point? Well, that actually was the worst day of quarantine. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the day I did not work out was my worst day because I was mentally upset. I emotionally couldn't get it under control. So figure out what you do for self-care and how to set your mind right. Maybe it's journaling a lot. Maybe it's listening to worship music. Maybe it's, I don't know, insert whatever you know that helps you and do it. I'm staying sane. Blow drying my hair every day makes me feel like a human. So there's that. Here at Aloft, you have a set menu breakfast. It changes. They will give you a new menu when the menu changes.
Here's what menu A looks like. You have a menu A and a menu B, and it depends on the week of which menu is for dining. Here on menu A, to the left you see numbers, and then next to the numbers you see what type of food it is, and to the right you see the price. So for Aloft, you have a $580 meal limit or allowance, and if you have a connecting room, you can spend up to 1,160, so you can combine your points. Then again, here is the backside of menu A. So we just decide kind of what we'd like to eat, and we write down the number. So when we call the front office, I say, hi, this is room 601, 602, and I say I'd like to order lunch. We'd like a number 17, a number 15, and a number 21. And then they ask what time, and we usually like to eat lunch around 12:30, and that's how you order.
The only issue is you have a set time for breakfast, lunch, and dinner where they will bring you your food. They don't always bring it on time. So this is where you need to have snacks in your room so you do not become hangry. That's very important. Hangry while in quarantine is no good. So, and they unfortunately do mess up your food sometimes. So you need to have a backup option or order Uber Eats. Uber Eats is super easy. I have shown some videos of our quarantine, kind of the process that we order on Uber Eats. We downloaded Google Translate. We use Google Translate, and we'll order Uber Eats on the computer or my phone, depending on if my phone has the English part. You have it, leave it at door, and on the notes you say leave it at front desk for room 601, and then once they leave it there, the front desk will write 601 on it, and whenever they have time, they will deliver it to your room. Keyword, whenever they have time. Sometimes we've gotten it within 5 minutes of it being delivered, and other times when they're super busy, it's been over an hour and our food is now cold. You were at the mercy of when they want to give it to you. So that is one thing I will have to say. That's the only downside of Uber Eats, but you get what you want, right? We order Uber Eats every day because we want to try different foods, and again, like my issues with food. So we have ordered from the grocery store. There are a few grocery stores around Aloft, and you can have it delivered to your door. If you again watch some of my previous videos, I've showed you kind of the process of ordering groceries. They do have everything, pretty much. I have found different grocery stores. If you forgot something, it is at the grocery store. So do not be weary. Kind of quarantine in a nutshell. Your days go by really fast, but really slow. Hard to explain. You just have to figure out, really, I would say, figure out what you do for self-care. How do you de-stress? That is like a mind game, right? Like, this whole process has been super stressful. This is just one more thing. Like anxiety is high. You don't want to get sick, because if you get sick, if you mark something on this paper, then the government has to come check on you. And there's all of these things. Like, I woke up in the middle of the night after I had that I woke up in the middle of the night one night and my throat hurt, which I knew it was from acid reflux. Like, that is a massive symptom. It messes with my esophagus. All I need to do is take my Tums and take my pill for it, and I can go back to sleep and wake up. However, because of the heightened sense of necessity of you being healthy, I had a panic attack in the middle of the night. I'm sure you guys feel it already if you haven't left yet. The anxiety of getting sick, just even a common cold, just from crying so much, your eyes hurt, and now you look like you have a sinus infection, or there's just so much riding on you not getting sick. Start taking care of yourself now. That is one thing that we did before we left. Start just maxing out your vitamins, getting some sort of healthy routine, finding out what helps you de-stress. Everybody is different, so everybody de-stresses differently. And counting down, we count down every day, and that has helped us tremendously. Like, just knowing, like, every day we're one day closer to getting our son. And I think, you know, when we found out about quarantine, it was like, well, that sucks. But with the way the world is right now, I would hate to lose the chance to pick him up. I don't want to wait. It is expensive. It's just the nature and how our journey of how we're picking him up. I wouldn't wish this on anybody, but we will do whatever we need to do to get our babies, right? Like, you guys are about to embark on this journey of massive stress load, and honestly, as soon as I walked into the airport, I immediately felt like I could breathe. I've made it to the airport, right? Our flights had been canceled a few times before we left. I'm pretty sure that you guys are in the same position. A lot of our flights just got canceled. As soon as you get on that EVA airline, I passed out. I was out. Like, all of the stress, you just need to get onto that airplane. As soon as you get onto that airplane, everything else is fine. Walking through the airport in Taiwan, I felt pretty comfortable walking in the airports in Seattle and in Spokane, but walking through the airport in Taiwan, I felt very clean. It just is like, it's a totally different feeling here, even though we've been inside. But just driving, it's like there's not a fear of, am I going to come in contact with somebody who has COVID? Because it's not really here, and they have very good practices to prevent that. That health component, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you need to make sure you charge each one of those, because that, I think, is what's helped my sanity throughout this, also my husband's. And you guys can do it. We have made it this far, right? We have made it through all of the home study paperwork. We have made it through the intent to adopt paperwork. We have waited forever for this. What is another 3 weeks? Like, at least we have a day. We have a day that we're meeting our child. We have a day that is a custody, and we have a day that's AIT. We have a countdown. There is finally a countdown. After all of this waiting, we finally have a countdown. And I think that's what's making my mind like sane through all of this, is because there's like a light. Like, before there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but it's like you don't know what curves and anything is going to be thrown at you, or, oh, well, now you need this stamp for this dossier document, and there's none of that. There's no more waiting for court. There's no more, am I hearing about another Skype? There's no more, how is my child doing? There's no more foster reports. There's no more, you're not waiting for anything else except for your countdown to pick up your child. You've got this. It's only a few weeks away. You can do it. As soon as you get on that airplane, you are home free. So if you guys have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. But quarantining doesn't have to be that bad. It sucks, but it's just one more thing that we have to do to go get our babies. So I wish you guys the best. I hope all of your flights get rescheduled, and that you can just be on that plane and sleep the whole entire way here, and wake up and just know. I have to say, watching out this window, flying into Taiwan was like, we're here, right? Like, you're finally here. So we've all had to do some crazy, crazy things, overcome some crazy, crazy obstacles, but we're literally at the home stretch. Blessings to you all, and I am praying that it all goes smoothly from here.